Bob, it's just not the same without audio.
No, it's not.
Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and John Sports Hour. Mr. Andre Sala will not be joining us tonight, so I cannot make fun of his age. He's on vacation somewhere in Mexico watching the show. He's watching us from a boat today, Bob, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Hope he can
yeah.
swim.
Yeah, he has a pool. He can swim. I don't think he's ever had a house that didn't have a pool, so he can swim. Can he swim? I don't know. I'll have to think about that because he does like his margaritas. So maybe he
Hmm.
just floats. Maybe he just floats.
Yeah.
Oh man, how are you doing today, Mr. Sharp?
Doing good. Doing good. Day off today, so yeah,
Day off. We
doing
have
good.
beautiful sunshine outside. No
Hmm.
fucking wind. No more 50 degrees. It just doesn't sound right for us in late April and early May
Hmm.
now. But we have some sunshine. Baseball's in the picture. Got NBA Final Four. Brittany Gardner, if I said her name
Griner.
right, Greiner, and the NFL 2022 NFL schedule. And where would you like to start, Mr. Sharp? What do you want to talk
Well,
about first?
you're the hostess with the mostest. Go ahead,
I
pick
am
a
the
topic.
hostess with the mostest. Let's start with the one. Let's start with Pujols because I thought that was it was funny. It was like I was telling you at the beginning of the show. I didn't know Pujols's history. His did he come up as a pitcher?
No,
Or
he came up
or
as a
any,
first baseman.
yeah. So I wasn't sure. So when I saw the headline, I was like, maybe it's just a dream of his. He wants to be on the mound. But then I started thinking down the line of some other people that have wanted to do that and really look foolish doing it. And I think, am I wrong? Did Conseco try to pitch at one time or another?
He did. He did.
He,
Yeah.
he-
They were getting the Texas Rangers were getting blown out, so he went in and he messed up his arm. Uh,
oh, that's
last
right.
year, yeah, last year Justin Turner for the Dodgers did that.
He did it as well. I
Hmm.
guess I guess it's some. I mean, if you've been in the game long enough, and I'm sure everybody out in any position has always wanted to play another position at least
Hmm.
once. So it was pretty funny, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip real quick here. Share screen. I do not own the rights to this video, just so you know. And let me. I no audio. There will be no audio. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Let me put the audio because it's pretty funny. The audio is pretty funny. Listening to the announcer
Oh,
here.
the announcers, yeah.
Yes. All right. Share audio. There we go. All right. Here we go. And let me turn this audio up.
You're going to the ballpark today thinking I'm going to see Albert Pujols pitching in a major league game. Albert's first out.
Now the first one didn't look bad.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like it was a decent throw. He didn't put a lot onto it, but he kept it in the park. So I was like, when I saw the first one, I said, "Oh shit, maybe he can pitch."
Recorded by Harrison Bader.
Mo wants is the bullpen to start.
Here we go. Double play ball will end it. He'll flip.
Now this should have been the end of this. He should have got out with the double play ball, and it did not look. I don't know what
He'll
happened.
throw. Safe. Albert was ready to celebrate.
Was he safe or out, Bob?
Oh, he was way safe.
If you would have got that double play ball, it would have been perfect. He would have walked away from the inning. It would have been everybody would have said great things, but
He was ready with a fist pump. Game in the ninth. He's got 2 outs. Look out. Gonzalez to right. Albert looking at it. So's everyone else. Albert's given up a homer. Unfortunately, Joey Bart has done this a lot. He goes slow. This one to left. Back at the wall. And it's
now I think that's the only time you're going to get the home fans to clap for two back-to-back home runs, right? Am I right? That's never going to happen ever again. I mean, oh man, that was hilarious. To see the fans clapping.
Wade. No. This could do it. Albert's got his hand up. There you go. The ERA may be 54, but no one's going to forget what we saw tonight. No way.
I like how he says his ERA may be 54.
Yeah. ERA's 54, but yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think of Mr. Pujols' pitching performance, Mr. Sharp?
I thought it was awesome, man.
Yeah. I was surprised. Like I said, when I saw the headline, I automatically thought, okay, maybe this is something Pujols has always wanted to do in his life is get behind the, get on the pitcher's mound and throw a couple pitches in there. Aisa, what playoffs are you talking? Oh,
No, he's doing his Jim Moore impersonation.
playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was kind of cool, and like I said, I think that's the only time you're going to see the home field team clapping for 2 home runs, But I guess you got that out of the way, and like I said, I remember I just remember Canseco doing it. That's and I couldn't remember who did it last year, but
there's a lot. There's been a lot of players in the blowouts who do it this year. If you pull up. The guy's name is Strange Gordon. Okay, so he throws a pitch, and it hits Travis d'Arnaud from the Braves, and the pitch is like 45, 48 miles an hour, and Travis d'Arnaud goes down like he got shot.
I've seen that clip. Yeah. No, it was funny. Like I said, I thought like he was something he's always wanted to do. So when I saw that first pitch, I thought, okay, that wasn't too bad. Maybe he's just warming up. I thought maybe again, it being it's his first time, he didn't want to hit anybody because obviously we all know he throws harder than that. I mean, when he's throwing, to home plate or he's throwing to second or whatever. So I figured we're gonna see some heat here, and then just to see these lobbers. And as a hitter, I mean, your eyes got to be like this fucking big.
Yeah, but it also screws with your timing though, because now you gotta wait, then swing. Where when you have a regular pitcher, it's like wait then swing.
Yeah.
The slower that thing goes, you got to sit back, wait.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But those guys' eyes were this big, and they were just sitting back. It probably felt like eternity for some of those batters waiting for that pitch to get to the plate. But he did it. He got it out of his way, and like I said, he got the 3 outs. I think he should have got that double play. I think they were just a little. Maybe I don't know what word to kind of use there. Nonchalant about getting it at the first. It looked like it was just.
Well, no, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the speed of the ball as it's going to the fielder, the speed of the runner coming at you.
Yeah.
So if it's a slow roller, you got to be quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess too probably has a lot to do with it, just the speed of the ball when it was pitched. So it doesn't have a lot of that. Yeah, it didn't have a lot of that reaction off the bat like you would see normally from a ground ball. It's just gonna, boom, boom, boom. You can get that 1, 2, 3 play. Let's good for Pujols. Proud of him.
Yeah, good for Albert, man. That's
will we see Albert again?
And good for Gonzalez because Gonzalez is a rookie. He's like, yeah. My only home run in the big leagues. I took Pujols deep, brother. I took the Hall of Famer deep, man. Yes, I did.
I didn't even think about that. That is kind of a cool thing to have, as you get down in your career. Like, I hit a home run off of Pujols. Get the fuck out of here!
Exactly. Him and Joey Bart. Joey Bart's going, yeah, man, I did it. Yeah, I did.
You can tell it's great. I thought Pujols played first base.
Not tonight, brother. He was on the mound, dog.
It's going to probably, I bet you a few people tell him that, come on, stop telling fish stories, man. Pujols never pitched.
Oh, no. See, that's the beauty about today's golden age, man.
Yeah.
Pull it up on YouTube, brother. Pull it up on YouTube.
Right here. I'll show you.
Joey Bart takes Pujols deep. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Mr. Sharp wanted to talk NBA playoffs, and as I was doing my research last night, I realized I see why Mr. Sharp wants to talk NBA playoffs, because the Celtics are in the playoffs.
Well, that too. But
everybody knows your love-hate.
I did watch part of the Celtics-Bucks game.
Yeah.
Because that I saw before I went to work.
Yeah.
And then while I was at work, I kept tabs on the Phoenix Suns Dallas Mavericks game.
Right.
Now, I like it because you've got four teams who nobody really thought was going to be, had a chance in the finals. And I love it
Well,
that the Mavericks took down the Suns
right.
because all you hear about, especially from so-called analysts, I think Stephen A. Smith is the stupidest motherfucker in
Yeah, he
sports
is. Yeah, he is.
because Chris Paul's going to do this. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. I'm glad the Suns picked him at number one in 2018 because the who's the guy from Luka Doncic wasn't going to be
Luka.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay, now Doncic took down the Suns, and this morning Stephen A. is probably going, I never said that. I never said that.
Oh
You know,
God.
and he'll never give the teams credit that won.
Yeah.
He'll always say how bad the other team that he rooted for played.
Yeah, they were off their game. They
Yeah,
should have won, but they were off their game.
yeah.
I mean, I think everybody. As you go down the list, I mean, it's going to be Celtics, Heat, and Mavericks and Warriors. And
Warriors, yeah.
I mean, as far as the Celtics, I think they've been a good team all year, right?
They have.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm trying to think of the seedings of each one of these
Well,
teams.
the Heat were the Heat were either number two
Right.
or
Right.
number
Yeah.
one because the Celtics were number three.
Number three. Yeah. Let me
So,
see.
and the Celtics are traveling to the Heat, so the Heat obviously had a better record than the Celtics.
Yeah. Let
Yeah,
me. Yeah. Well, I knew the Warriors were going. Yeah. Miami was. Miami was ranked number one.
yeah.
Yeah. And
All right,
who's
so
who?
here's the cool part,
Yeah.
John. Name one player on the Heat without Google.
I can't because I haven't watched hardly any basketball this year. It just I haven't really paid attention to it because we don't pay attention to it too much on this channel. But
No, we don't because
yeah,
because of the politics of the game and all that.
politics of the game.
And
Yeah,
and the only thing that the NBA and all the reporters want to talk about is LeBron.
yeah. That's
And now that Chris Paul's gone, I mean, the only thing that's going to save the NBA this year is the Golden State Warriors because at least people know Steph Curry.
yeah. They know Steph and Tom, but yeah. I mean, I'd have to Google the schedule. I'd have to look at I would have to look at the the stats or the lineup for the Heat.
Yeah.
You got Butler. I can't
Uh-huh.
even say the other guy's name. Aldabuhudi or I can't even do it.
Yeah.
Adebayo.
Right.
I don't even know how you say that guy's name. Hero. You got
Yeah, Tyler
Tucker.
Hero.
You got Tucker. Stratus. Oladapo. How do you say
Yeah,
that?
Victor Oladipo played at
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah. Vincent. Lowry. Robinson.
Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry's hurt.
Yeah. Damon. I don't even know how to say the other guy's last name. Yurt Stevens. I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Martin and Highsmith. That is your
Yeah.
lineup. Yeah. No, I wouldn't know any of those guys' names, Bob. I
Right.
wouldn't know any of their names.
But
But
but in their local markets, everyone knows them. But the problem is they don't put the Heat on TV a lot because again, there's nobody named LeBron James or Giannis playing for them,
yeah.
or the guy from Denver, Jokic,
Are
or
they
Jay
trying to
Morant.
make another star though? Because
Huh?
I mean, they're going to have to try to build up another person as their
Well,
star.
but see, that's why the NBA is trying to do that
Yeah.
with your Jay Morants, with your Giannis's, with your Luka Doncic, with Devin Booker from Phoenix. These are the guys, and there's the Grizzlies are coming up. The Timberwolves have got some talent. I mean, there's some good young talent. I'm glad the Sixers didn't make it. I really
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
Because I think, like I said before, I said it on this show. When James Harden is in the playoffs, he's harder to find than where's Waldo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he threw his coach under the bus because
I saw that.
the Sixers lost to the Heat, and in the second half, James Harden only had one shot, and
Yeah.
he said, "Well, the coach wasn't drawing up plays for me." Seriously, dude, have you watched an NBA game? Do they even run plays?
Yeah.
It's
Do
just
they-
get the ball to the guy who's hot. That's
That's
what
what
it is.
That's what it is, especially in the playoffs. If someone's
Yeah.
hot, coach
So,
should.
so you got James Harden, who's never performed well in the playoffs, throwing Doc Rivers under the bus because he only drew up one play for him in the second half. He only had one shot.
Yeah, I'm
James
looking at.
Harden is James. I mean, and then they're talking about, oh yeah, well he's going to be tough to resign at 42 million. 42 million, kiss my ass.
Yeah,
That dude's lucky to make $42 because he disappears in the playoffs.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
why? And I don't know why everyone's so hyped up on James Harden. Okay, he's hurt most of the season now because he's old.
yeah,
Okay, he disappears in the playoffs.
yeah.
You know, so why would you want James Harden?
Yeah, she only averaged, I'm looking at his stats here. He only averaged 18 points in 39 minutes of
Yeah.
12 games. 12 games,
Yeah.
18, average 18 points.
And
Yeah,
then
he's the
Go
one,
ahead.
if I'm not, he was the one that won it for Toronto years ago, right?
no, that was Kawhi Leonard. James Harden's never won a ring.
Oh,
He's got the long beard. He started with the Oklahoma City Thunder with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook,
okay.
but they traded him to the Rockets, and then from the Rockets, he's one of these mercenary guys who goes from team to team now.
Yeah.
You know, for a big contract, and I don't know why, because he's never won anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never hoisted a trophy. He's never, and then you got Stephen A. Smith talking about Joel Embiid is the best center ever to play basketball.
Oh, that's
Apparently,
insane.
Stephen A. Smith has never heard of guys like Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem
Yeah.
Olajuwon. I mean, Stephen A. is here. Let me ride your jock because you're hot right now,
Yeah.
and then I'll kick you to the curb when your jock cools off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I wonder about him. I mean, it's just like does he just sit at home just like, okay, how can I piss people off this
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you? I think he does. I think he looks at Twitter. He looks what else is going on, and he just kind of okay. Here, I could get some people pissed off because saying that. What's this guy? He's what, second year, third year in the NBA?
Joel Embiid?
Yeah,
No, I think he's in his fifth year.
his fifth year. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Points. Let's see here. I'll pull them up here. 20 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, -6. I don't know what that is on there. Plus -6.5 or 6. So
Right.
yeah. I mean, come on, man. The best fucking guy. That's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah. So I watched the Celtic game, and I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah.
I mean, a series for the Celtics and the
The Heat.
What I'm more interested in, though, is watching how Dallas can play defense against the Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, the Warriors did a good job when Steph Curry got hurt and Klay Thompson was out for a couple of years
Yeah.
of developing younger talent.
Yeah.
Poole is a good player. Okay, King Young. I mean, what they're Keon something or other. He's a good player, but the Warriors did good to develop, draft good young players and develop them to fit their system.
Yeah.
And those guys are doing a lot to help the Warriors win.
Yeah. Now, the Celtic game is tonight, and the Warriors game is going to be on Wednesday, I think.
Tonight, I
Wednesday.
thought the Celtics was on Tuesday.
No, I think it's tonight. Tonight at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, something like that. Hold on, I will make
No, it can't be tonight because they just won yesterday and they never play back to back when someone's traveling.
Oh, I thought it said tonight. I'll have to check that again because I thought that's what it said. No, maybe you're right. Maybe because I read it late last night. It must mean tomorrow night. I thought. Let me make a double sure here. NBA playoff games. The Celtics Heat tomorrow at 5:30. Yeah. I misread. It'll be tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. Celtics at the Heat, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in Miami. So we want to pick. You want to pick your final two?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to pick the final two, I'm probably going to go Celtics because they're near and dear to my heart, and I
Yeah.
believe that the Warriors are a little bit better than the Mavericks.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be a
So,
great chance play. I will watch that, Bob. I will watch that NBA final if it's Boston and the Warriors.
yeah,
The Heat, I could care less. I could
yeah.
care less. And Dallas is Dallas. I mean, to me, Dallas. It seems like they're a very lucky team for one, and well, they've won their championships, but I think the best thing that ever happened to the Mavericks was their owner. Am I
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I think without Mark Cuban, there is no talk of Dallas Mavericks as a team that's always stuck around. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, everyone liked Dirk Nowitzki. I mean,
Yeah,
Nowitzki did lead them to a championship.
yeah. I just think well no yeah I mean yeah but I think it's just the way he has run that team and his personality and
Uh-huh.
that's what makes the Mavericks who they are on TV. That's why I think the Mavericks are on TV a little bit more than other teams, and because of his personality and what he's done for that team. And I mean, he's the first one. Where there's stories in the beginning where he was asking his players, "What do you guys want in the locker room? What do you guys
Right,
want? I want a
right. No, no,
Slurpee
no, no. I
machine."
mean, Mark Cuban broke the mold of old time NBA owners
Yeah,
when he bought them because he was the first real up and comer. I got my money through
yeah,
the internet,
right,
type of billionaire to buy a team where everybody else
right.
had a family history of always having money.
Yeah, you can thank Mark Cuban for MP3 format. That's what
Yeah,
Mark. That's what he
yeah.
invented.
So Mark Cuban, I mean, but he was the first real owner to like sit on the court, near the fans and stuff, and really be enthusiastic, where everybody else set up in their corporate boxes and didn't want to have nothing to do with their fan base.
Right, right. And he
So
was
he
he's
basically broke the mold.
yeah, he was the player's owner. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah,
that's how I looked at him as being, just the guy like you're saying. He was, he was around the athletes. He wasn't the guy that waited till they won a championship to come
yeah,
down from the heavens up there in the stadiums to be with their players, but. Like he was back there, he was fighting with fans. Remember, he would
uh
fight
huh,
with fans in the stands, and I'm just like, okay, I get it, new generation of owners. Yeah, he's not old money. Is that the term? Yeah, old money, right? Old
uh huh,
money. He's new money, so and then to ask the players. I mean that was the big thing in the beginning. It was like players were talking about like we asked for a Slurpee machine and he put a Slurpee machine in there. And I want a Slurpee machine in their locker. Okay, you get a Slurpee machine. So it's kind of cool. I'm glad that they're in there, but hopefully it ends up being a Boston Celtics Warriors
yeah,
final, and I
uh
will
huh.
watch that. I will watch that,
So will
Bob.
I.
I will watch that. I will root for my Warriors, and I know you will be rooting for your Celtics. If the Celtics wins, how many championships will that be, Bob?
18, 18.
Yeah, 18. And how long has it been since their last championship, Mr. Sharp?
2000,
Yeah, it's been.
2000. I want to say 2000 and either 7 or 2008 when they beat the
Yeah,
Lakers.
they beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Sharp. And if they don't win, will you be rooting for the Warriors?
Up, no.
What?
Well, all right. So if they're playing the Heat, I'll probably root for the Heat. Okay.
Stick with that East Coast bias right there. And
Yeah.
you're not even an East Coast guy.
Hey, hey, hey. Okay.
You're, you're a
All right. So
Midwesterner.
here's the story. All right.
You're a
When I first
Midwesterner.
started liking sports when I was a wee child,
Yeah, I know.
everything was LA based. Okay. Everything was LA. Dodgers, Rams, Lakers. But back then, the Lakers had Wilt, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, Pat Riley, Happy Hairston. They
Yep.
had a great team. But then Wilt left the Lakers, and I was not a big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan.
Yeah.
But Kareem had not made the move yet to LA. He was still playing for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
So it's 1974. I'm a kid in Missouri, and the only NBA game of the weeks we ever got really was the Celtics against somebody.
Yeah.
So the first finals that I really got to pay attention to was 1974 Celtics and the Bucks. And the Bucks were loaded, man. The Bucks had Bobby Dandridge, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson. They were just loaded. And the Celtics had JoJo White at point guard. Don Chaney was the shooting guard. Havlicek, small forward. Don Nelson, power forward. And Dave Cowens was the center. He was 6'9", undersized center because Jabbar was 7'3", okay, or 7'2". And the Celtics beat him. I mean, but one of my favorite players of all time, Paul Silas, he was like the sixth man. He would come in to the game, and his only job was to rebound. He was Dennis Rodman before Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, that's when Paul they actually played basketball, Bob.
I love Paul Silas.
That's
Paul
when they
Silas
actually
never looked to take a shot.
Yeah.
His job was to rebound.
Yeah, that's when they actually played basketball, Bob.
That's when they actually played basketball.
Now it's street ball.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, let's jump because the next after this segment is going to take a while. That's the NFL schedule, so we're going to jump right into our favorite girl. I can't say that without coughing.
Okay. I have mixed feelings on this, all right?
Yeah. Me too, after I read the article.
Okay, here's the deal, okay? When she first got arrested for having marijuana, I get it. Don't smoke marijuana in foreign countries because their laws are more harsher than ours are.
Yep.
Okay? And I get it, okay? But the narrative changed.
Yeah, it did.
With the media.
Yeah.
Because this is a perfect case for every liberal media to get on board with poor lesbian Britney Greiner is stuck in prison in Russia because of a vape pen, right?
Yeah.
And they let that die. They let it get away. And Joe Biden, the savior of black people in America, hasn't one time told Putin, hey, let her go.
Yeah.
No offense. And okay, we might get shut down. We might get people who are angry at this comment. I don't give a shit, okay?
Yeah.
Trump wouldn't have let her stay this long.
No.
And she's probably not a big Trump supporter, but Donald Trump wouldn't have let this mess happen and her stay in prison for so long.
Yeah. No,
Trump would have said, let her go.
Yeah.
And Putin would have said, okay. Yeah. Because Putin's not afraid of Biden. But the media, and it's funny, even black media, okay, have forgotten Britney Greiner still in Russia.
Yeah.
I read an article today where there was a black journalist who says, hey, we really need to get back on this story. Well, why'd you let the story go?
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing else really going on in the WNBA not to be paying attention to the story.
Yeah, well, the season just started for the WNBA.
Yeah,
Well, number one, do not promote it through the WNBA because nobody's watching the WNBA.
Yeah, that is true. You don't want to promote that.
Okay? Nobody watches it. And look, I'm not a sexist, okay, but
yeah.
The game, I like the way they play the game because it's old style basketball.
Yeah.
But they're still getting to the point where now they're starting to shoot a lot of threes and stuff. But that's cool. But they still go to the post a lot, which is kind of fun to watch. But but it's a slower version of the game I loved. Okay, I could probably take a boys' high school team and beat the WNBA's best.
Most definitely.
Okay, you can take Modesto Christian. Okay. Here in town.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Modesto Christian, put them boys on the court. I bet they beat a team of WNBA All-Stars.
I wouldn't go that far. I would say the number one high school team in the country probably could beat them, but I wouldn't go.
Modesto Christian is always ranked high in California because they have a great program.
Okay,
that's why I didn't say Bayer High School. Okay.
Bayer wouldn't never stand a chance.
But I'm thinking I could take Modesto Christian and beat an all-star team of WNBA players.
Wow. I pay to watch that, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I you know how I stood when I heard this story. Bad on you. You fucked up. Pay the price. And then the war started. And so I kind of had I kind of felt like, okay, are the Russians going to use this? Did they use this to ploy for something? And it seems like, her detention has been extended. I'll read the article.
Yeah.
Still in jail, her detention has been extended a month. She's been in detention nearly 3 months.
Right.
Russian state agency TASS published a story saying there were negotiations between the U.S. and Russia to exchange Greiner, whatever her fucking name is, for a Russian man being held in the United
Right.
States for financial terrorism.
Yeah,
Now,
they want to swap her for a spy.
yeah, and I'm like, is she worth this button? I'm sorry, I was gonna push my joke button, but is she worth a fucking no? Now I don't know if this story is legit or if it's just something that's going around to try to draw some attention to the U.S. to draw some attention on her to get help her out in some way or. But it says, we honestly don't know if this is good or bad news. Come on, fuck.
Right.
Good or bad news. It could mean buying time to work out a swift deal for her release, or it could mean more complications putting on the table. So, I mean, now it got to me. When I read that, I start to think, are they using her as a pawn? Are they using her? Is that the reason they're holding on to her? Pissed off at us for sanctions against their country. So it's just like, I started thinking, would have this happened if there was no war? And now we know for a fact that she's been in and out of that country multiple times because that's where she goes and plays her off-season basketball. So I'm sure someone has seen a pen in her bag before and probably just kind of pushed it aside and said, "Go on your way. We'll see you next season."
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, well, wait a minute, has she even had to go through TSA before? She's an athlete. So I'm thinking a lot of these athletes, they have their own personal way of getting in and out of the airport. I don't know if she has to walk through the airport like a regular person there in Germany or not. I'm assuming she doesn't.
Right.
I'm assuming they have a separate part for them people.
No, except for her playing in the Women's Russian Basketball League, she's not a big deal in Russia, really.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that she's 6'8".
Yeah.
And when she talks, she sounds like a man. But with that said, I think that she's being used by the Russian government because, face it, next year when she gets out of jail and the Women's Russian League goes, "Hey, are you coming back?" She's gonna go, "Hell no." Okay, I would.
I wouldn't go back
because even the Russian Women's League should be fighting for her to be released. I think, and you know where I stand politically, I think they should release her.
Yeah.
Okay? You did your time. Okay? You've done 3 months. That's harsh enough in a Russian prison.
Yeah.
Okay? Send her home. Okay? I think Joe Biden should be on the phone, or Kamala Harris, especially Kamala.
Especially Kamala.
News every night. Send Britney Greiner home. Send her home. Send her home. I mean, I feel bad for her because the people she believed in who would save her are totally ignoring her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's got to be going through her head. She's got to be saying, where's Biden? Where is Pamela Harris? These are people that should have gotten me out of here 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Where's Joy Reid on MSNBC who loves to call white people racist all the time? Where's Whoopi Goldberg?
Right.
Where's Sunny Hostin on The View? Where are all these?
Where's Al Sharpton?
Where's Al Sharpton? Right. Where's all these people who say the black people are oppressed? Where are all these people?
Yeah.
Who like this is but see, the whole problem is she's not in a U.S. prison. She's in a Russian prison.
Yeah.
They don't care anymore. Okay. They don't care anymore. Okay, when she first got arrested, it was, this is a sin, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Crickets. Yeah. That's why she's still there. Nobody cares anymore.
You think it's the pot side? You think the pot has...
I know, but
our outlook at pot here now has changed within the last couple of years. So you wouldn't think this would be a big issue for us to be getting ourselves involved in. It's not like, because you know how it is. A lot of politicians don't want to tie themselves into whatever issue's going on if they feel like that issue is going to hurt them down the road. So I can understand, if it was some hardcore drug, like, she was transferring cocaine or meth into the country, but this is pot. And we've gotten to a point here in this country where most of the states are pretty much falling in with regulations by saying, hey, it's just marijuana. But again, it is Russia, so they have different laws and stuff. But I find it, like I said, I find it hard to believe that she's been going back and forth for like, I don't know how many years. I looked it up. It's like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years.
So you have to assume someone has seen a vape pen in her bag before, and I'm sure she has been through that process at TSA or whatever they call it over there, and she's been sent on her way. I just think she made a big mistake, and it's that old saying, Bob, wrong place at the wrong time. She was at the wrong fucking place at the wrong fucking time, man. Yeah. Without the war, she goes right through. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, no, I think they're still going to detain her, even if there's no war. Yeah. I think they're still going to detain her because I think during this phase of history, Putin has no fear of America.
Yeah, no, not right now. You don't.
No. But what I do think is funny is, I mean, if I was president, this is what I would do, okay? If I was Joe Biden, I would step up and go, hey, look, dude, give her back. Or I open up the Keystone Pipeline in America and the oil market crashes and you're broke.
Yeah.
Because once the Keystone Pipeline was open, what happened? The oil market crashed because we didn't depend on anybody else for oil.
Right.
I would say I'm going to open up the Keystone Pipeline, give her back.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I get her back, fucking I'd open the Keystone Pipeline. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully for her and her family, she gets out of there as soon as possible. I mean, it's gotta. I mean, we don't know if she's an actual. I mean, we don't know. We don't know if she's in an actual prison or if she's in a hotel room. Because a lot of time, people like that they put in hotel rooms and they keep them, contained that way. I don't know if they're actually putting her in a jail or a prison. We don't know.
I'm thinking she's in some type of jail system because you don't see a picture of her every day. You don't see media talking to her. Right. Okay, if she was in a hotel, they'd let media in, just make sure, hey, she's doing okay. We're treating her very nicely, We treat her like moose and squirrel, okay? Very nice.
She eats good every day.
She eats good every day. Potatoes, meat. We give her the vodka.
Lots of vodka.
Lots of vodka, yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where she's gone, but she hit her face during the trial, so you couldn't see. So she kept her head down. I mean, she's sure. Yeah, you're right. I don't see her going back to Russia to play basketball. She may be trying to get on a team in England.
Okay, so here's the sad part in all this. If you want to think outside the box, okay. This is why the WNBA will not pay players like the NBA. Yeah. Because nobody watches the game. So most of the females who play WNBA, they all go to Europe to play basketball in the off season so they can make money because they get paid more money in Europe to play than they do here. Yeah. Because Europeans will come and watch female basketball.
They love their sports. It's a night out for them. It's not about.
But the whole thing is the WNBA cannot draw a crowd to sustain. I mean, a lot of these teams went from the big arenas to small college gyms. Yeah. Because if you got 2,000 people coming to your games, it looks better if your auditorium is only 5,000 seats instead of 15,000.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now they're not filling. I don't know what the average NBA stadium holds: 35, 40,000, 45,000.
No. It's most basketball arenas are between 15 and 18,000.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, I mean that's still hard. I mean,
Yeah.
even that's still hard. I mean, even for the women. Well, the women, that's still lucky. It'll look like an A's game. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
A's. I'm sorry, A's fans. It's probably the same group that actually goes to watch basketball.
Probably, man.
Oh, well, let's get into the NFL schedule, Bob. Are you excited? I mean, I like the fact that we're going up against the two best teams are playing to start off the season. I like that, but I'm kind of like I am a good loyal Buffalo. I'm a good loyal Rams fan. Sorry, but I kind of hate the fact that we got to play Buffalo first. I do.
Yeah, see, with you,
I
it's
love my
more,
Rams. I love my Rams, but
yeah,
I mean,
but for you, John, to like pump up the Bills like this, you have an ulterior motive, like you're trying to get laid, okay?
no, 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 no. You got to remember, my uncle is the Buffalo Bills fan. I have
Wait. Who's that girl who's also a
Karen
Buffalo
Karen
Bills?
is a Bills fan too as well,
Oh,
but
don't
that's
you
not
have
where
a
I'm
hot
getting.
for her still?
That's not where I'm getting at. That's not where I'm going with
Don't
it.
you have
I
a hot
just
for
I
her?
just wish we would have played somebody else to start the season. And I get the NFL wants to start off on
Right.
a big ticket, big game, and I feel like I don't think it's going to hurt either team if they lose throughout the
Right.
season. I think
Right.
it's not going to affect them as much as it would if it were somebody else. But
Right.
I would have preferred to have played, I don't know, the Raiders on
Yeah.
that first game instead of
Well,
playing two number ones.
speaking of which, have you seen the Rams schedule?
Yeah, I have on here. Yeah, I have on here.
There ain't a whole lot of cupcakes on that schedule.
No, there's not. There's not a lot of cupcakes.
You got
on.
Seattle, which will probably not be as good as they were before.
That's 2 wins
You've
for
got
us.
the Saints, the Falcons, and
That's 4
Carolina.
wins. That's 4
That's
wins.
it. Everybody else is like a playoff team caliber team. You got the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You're going against Green Bay. You're playing the Chiefs.
Yep.
You're playing the Chargers. You're playing the Broncos. You're playing the Raiders.
Yeah.
You got the Niners twice, Arizona twice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the toughest schedules a repeating Super Bowl winner has ever had to play.
Yeah, they go Buffalo week 1. Week 2 is Atlanta. And
Yep.
then they got the Cardinals on the 3rd week. And then I'm glad they're playing the Niners sooner. I do like that. I'm glad it's week 4. I hate it. I hate it waiting for bunching them up together like that at the end of the fucking season. Really pisses me off. Cowboys week 5, week 6 the Panthers, Carolina. Yeah. Week 8 right back in 49ers, and then Tampa Bay. And I get Tampa Bay. Everybody wants to see that game again, so that was going to happen.
And the sad part is they're playing in Tampa Bay again.
Again, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I know. That should have been swapped. I mean, it's whatever. The NBA,
Yeah.
the NFL is the NFL, and then they play the Cardinals in week 10, then the Saints again in week 11, and then the Chiefs on week 12. I mean, there again. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Week 12,
Yeah,
Kansas City.
yeah.
There is a great possibility
Yeah.
I'll be wearing my Rams jersey at Arrowhead Stadium.
Oh, you're going.
I have a cousin who lives in Springfield, and we talked about this after when he found out that the Rams and Chiefs were going to play each other
Yeah.
in Kansas City. He goes, maybe you should come out because I missed the family reunion this weekend because work and and money. But I already looked into a flight, man. Round trip, $400 from Sacramento to Springfield, Missouri, so I don't have to rent a car.
Yeah.
My cousins live there. Great possibility I could be at that game.
That'd be awesome, Bob. We'll have you broadcast live for the Bob and John.
I would. I'd go Facebook Live with me and my Rams jersey on and all those Kansas City fans.
Yeah, you'd be the only one in white in the sea of red.
I'm sure there's going to be more Rams fans than this
Yeah,
one,
I'm sure.
because they did play in St. Louis.
Yeah, we'd get that flooding that in from St. Louis. Week 13 they play the Seahawks, and then week 14 I will be at Bobby Britt's house to watch my Rams beat the shit out of the Raiders.
Well, hopefully I'm not working.
You will be there with us.
Is that a Thursday night game?
That is, oh wait, yeah, you know what? Let me check that. That is a Thursday night, 12-8. Yeah, Thursday night game.
I'm bringing the beer.
Bobby will be at work. Maybe he'll take the day off. He deserves a day off.
Take the day off. Well, at least Brandon will be there.
Yeah, Brandon will be there. Mike. Then they play the Packers. I mean, we got it tough. That last week of football for us is just. Even the Raiders.
Well, I'm more worried about playing the AFC. I'm more worried about playing the Raiders than I am the Packers.
Yeah.
The Raiders got better in the offseason. The Packers got worse.
Yeah, Packers got worse.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers got no wide receivers to throw to.
Yeah.
And they drafted defense first this year.
Yeah, but it's still Aaron. Let's just keep that in mind. It's still Aaron Rodgers. He'll find a way to win.
Yeah, I don't care. He got no wide receivers.
He got nobody to throw to, man. I mean, the Broncos weren't bad last year, but they did improve with this draft. So they
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they got Russell Wilson. So I mean, it's going to be.
Although their youngest star wide receiver is now it got thrown in jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Jerry Jeudy, spousal abuse.
Yeah, I can't believe
What is it with guys from Alabama, man? They're going to jail. Reuben Foster, Henry Ruggs.
Bob's thrown in the whole state.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I mean, it's just that attitude where they don't have to pay for kids, I guess. I don't know, man.
Well, no, Henry Ruggs was doing 160 miles an hour in Vegas when he hit that lady.
Yeah.
And then, and then Jerry Jeudy. And now his wife or girlfriend, oh, no, I'm not pressing charges.
Yeah.
That's because she's going to get paid.
She's going to get paid, and she may get to stick around the entourage and make it happen again. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, it's just it's that whole thing is all of it's just really. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for how I would be as a individual that has gone through his whole life being praised and that a boys all through fucking junior high, all through high school, and then all through college, and then you get there and you just think you got this ego that's just so big. I don't know how it would affect me. Would I be a different type of person? Would I get rid of everybody? I don't know. It's tough to even think how. I mean, how do you think how do you think you would be? Do you think you would have changed? Do you think you would be a different person? Will you get rid of your entourage? Will you based on your personality right now today?
Right. So basically I wouldn't have an entourage.
Yeah.
I would be like Peyton Manning. I would marry my college sweetheart, keep her off TV so nobody. She's just now
TV.
No, seriously, she's just now putting her picture out there. What she looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, Peyton Manning, and he never got in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, Peyton Manning would go home to his wife. He had no entourage, but that's just it. Growing up in like say the hood or something like that, you got your boys to protect you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a strong mother-father figure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you get a little bit of money and you don't know how to handle it well. You need a new handler. You need an adult to mentor you.
Yeah. Yep.
To say this is what you need to do. And it's funny because Shaquille O'Neal, his first year in the league, right? He made $1 million. First contract, $1 million.
Yeah.
And he tells this story. He said, okay, so I got my first check. I bought a brand new car, $200,000.
Yeah.
Bought my parents a house. My mom wanted a car, bought her the $200,000 car. My dad wanted a car, bought him a car. Go to the bank one day, I'm broke.
Yep.
Because I just started spending all my money and I never learned how to save it and stuff. So he said that's where I got a plan and developed a way to make money and then grow my money. And I think it's great. He also came out and he said, my kids have to go to work because I'm rich, they're not.
Yeah. Well, he's a perfect too. I mean, for him too, because he did come from a stable household
He
too,
did.
as well. His dad was a cop, or his
No, his
stepdad.
dad was in the army. His stepdad
Is
was in the
that
army.
Yeah, his stepdad's in the army, and his mom was a teacher. So you
Yeah.
can't, you blame it on the hood or it's just your personality and
Right.
maybe a little bit of what you've gone through and
Right.
who you feel like. Let's be honest, it also comes down to who you feel like you owe.
Right.
Especially when you know how it is in the growing up. I grew up in South Philly. Was it the hood? Not really, but you knew who had your back, who didn't have your back. Would I've if I would have been successful, would those people have come with me, as a way of saying thank you or whatever? I don't know how you want to look at it, but it's just, to me, it just seems like, you know, you got an opportunity, your whole life, you've been slapped on the back, you've been told you're the greatest, blah, blah, blah. You get to this level, but the NFL over the last 10, 15 years has made sure that these guys have come in and have gone through seminars.
Right.
They understand. They have financial people there explaining to them, this, you need to get away from these people. You need to separate yourself. You need to learn how to finance your money.
Right.
Some of these guys were lucky to have $10 in their pocket.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they got hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
It's insane. It's insane. And then I even heard that they do classes, which is smart, but just on the women's side of it.
Right.
They explain to them, and no man should have to be explained to that now you're famous. There are possibility women out there that are going to screw you over for your money. That you should know that. And it's not just women, but men as well that are going to be out there that are going to try to take as much money from you as possible, and to be careful, and don't have your Uncle Bob come up to you and tell you should open up a Cadillac dealership in Detroit, stuff like that, So yeah, hopefully they get, I don't know. It's sad to see that they get themselves in these situations,
Oh yeah.
It's and then one of the things that it reminds me, and it's stuck in my head till this day, and this happened many years ago, and that was the kid that got drafted by the Chicago Bulls, and I don't think he even play. I don't think he even played a season, and it was in his contract. You cannot fucking buy a motorcycle. You cannot own a motorcycle. You cannot buy a motor. And what the fuck does he go and do? Day one, he goes and buys a motorcycle and kills himself. And I'm thinking to myself,
well, he didn't kill himself. He what he did was he played a year, and then after his rookie year,
1 year,
he got on a motorcycle and he wrecked it and tore up his leg, and he never got to play again.
Never got to play again.
But there are contract stipulations that say you cannot ride motorcycles.
Yeah, you can't skydive. You can't fucking. I mean, it's all, the NBA is not stupid. You're worth something to them. So you shouldn't be skydiving. You shouldn't be on a fucking motorcycle.
Right.
You shouldn't be you shouldn't be getting in cars that and get arrested for going 300 miles an hour. You shouldn't be drinking and driving. I mean, that's a common one. That applies to all of us. But, I mean, Bob Sharp can go buy a motorcycle if he wants.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell him no.
And that's what they were talking about, because they had a conversation about that. Is you make enough money, get a car service, come pick you up, go to the club, get a car service.
Yeah.
See, now it's all about,
Rolling
all about,
up.
look what I've got. Look what I've got. I've got a Lamborghini. I got a Maserati. And and you can see that in the generation now in their 20s. It's all about what you got. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple girls I follow on Instagram, and their boyfriends have Lamborghinis and stuff. And it's just like, it's that fast-paced life, going out drinking every night, partying, blah, 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 blah. Well, good for him that he made enough money he can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disparage him for that. All right.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, instead of buying the Lamborghini, Maserati, and all that stuff, why don't you save it, buy a house, and invest it so your money can make you money. Hey, but you'll still get the hot women, okay? Because you'll still have money, but take some of that money and invest it, and have your money make you more money, so you'll have wealth down the road. I mean, there's too many players who are broke after they play because they weren't physically financed.
Yeah, they're either broke or they owe so. And this is the other thing. I hate we're getting into finances, but pay your fucking taxes, man. You have people take care of that shit for you. Pay your fucking taxes. Don't buy the Lamborghini. Pay your fucking taxes. You don't need 3 Lamborghinis, dude. Fuck, that's like the biggest thing I see all the time now in sports. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, it's not like you can disappear. You're famous, motherfucker. You can't just fucking disappear. You're a famous fucking person, dude. Pay your goddamn tax.
Did you ever hear Barkley talk about that when he came into the league?
Yeah.
So he gets his check and like he he's supposed to be making like, I don't know, let's just say 30 grand a game or something like that. So or 30 grand a month. His first check's 30 grand, right? So he's thinking he's going to get 30 grand, and it comes out to like 21 grand.
Yeah.
He's like, where's my 9,000? So he's looking at his stuff. He's like, who the fuck is FICA? Okay. I don't know FICA. Why? Well, why am I paying FICA? Okay. Those are called taxes, Charles.
Yeah, you got to pay those, man.
Those are called taxes.
And I don't get it because nowadays, there are people that take care of your money. Obviously, most of these guys have somebody that takes care of their money. And, I feel sorry for that guy because I'm sure that guy is saying, hey, you got to pay your taxes. We got to pay your taxes. We'll get it next year.
Yeah, we're going to do this and that. Okay, hey, off topic.
Yeah.
There's something I do need to discuss with you.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, you went on a rant about AI and the electronic robot umpires.
Yeah, baby.
And your comment was the players are stronger and better these days.
Yeah.
I came across an interesting article yesterday about Jim Cott. Jim Cott played for the Minnesota Twins. Jim Cott's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I looked at how many wins Jim Cott's had. And I started looking at like Jim Palmer, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Warren Spahn, Gaylord Perry, Bob Gibson. And I'm looking at all these guys, and your argument is horseshit. If the pitchers are so much better now, so much stronger, how come they don't pitch complete games anymore? They go 6 innings, they're a stud. These guys that I just mentioned,
they're doing that because
I just mentioned, they all pitched complete games. When they went to the mound, they were out there for 9 innings. They threw 150 pitches. Okay.
All right.
You can't pitch a pitcher anymore who throws more than 100 pitches a game. Okay, because you got to save his arm. He can only go 6. He can only go 7. How come Bob Gibson can throw 150 pitches in a game 30 times a year, but the pitchers can't do that now?
Because the game evolved. That's why.
No.
It's because the game changed. Yes, because
you throw the ball, you hit the ball.
No, Bob. You know this better than I do, man. The game has evolved. People, it's all about winning now, and it's all about statistics and numbers and NBA, basketball, baseball. People have realized that to get through a season, we need a guy to go 6 innings. We need a guy to come in for middle relief, and we need a guy to close. That's how the game has evolved. And that's the only reason that it's changed.
So they're not stronger.
It's not to say they're not stronger. It's just that's what the league wants.
Now.
That's what the league wants, and that's what owners have seen, and the leagues and managers.
But they're not better, is what you're saying.
The game evolves, and that's why I'm saying again, that's part of my argument. You're only taking part of my argument.
No, because
you're only taking part of it. No, because let me finish. You're only taking part of my argument. What I said is technology has gotten better to make the game better. That technology is there. Why not use it? Other teams, other leagues are using newer technology. We shouldn't have to have a human being calling balls and strikes anymore. That doesn't need to. We don't need to have any more close calls at first. We don't need to have close calls at second anymore. We don't need to have close calls at home anymore, to be honest with you. We shouldn't. We shouldn't have umpires thinking, I don't know, should I call that or shouldn't I call that a ball? Should I, did I call that last one a ball? We're in that same, we shouldn't have that. It shouldn't even be debated anymore because there should be, the technology is there, has gotten better. It can make the game faster. It can make the game better. We don't have to have people arguing 10 years down the road whether it was a ball or a strike, whether he swung or didn't swing. Did it touch the foul line? We shouldn't even have those arguments anymore. The game is evolving. Technology is evolving. It should evolve with the game.
Okay, so your argument about close calls at first base, second base, third base, and home plate, they already have replays. They review it. You're done with that, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They evolved that.
Close calls, we already have replay, okay? Making the game faster, you're so full of shit past your eyeballs you can't see it. If you look at the average time of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, games were 2 hours and 15 minutes. The average game now is 3 hours and 22 minutes.
Right.
So how are we making the game faster?
The game is slowing down. The game is slowing down because the game is going slower is because now we're having a human look at a fucking replay when we shouldn't have to. The computer has made the call. It's done. Over. We don't need another person looking at it and saying whether the computer is right or wrong. Why is that? The same thing in the NFL. Why do we need three guys standing there when it's clear as day? We can see it. That call was bad. Why do we need three people standing there for 10 minutes trying to make a call a computer has already made? That's why the game is slowed down. And the same thing would apply in baseball. Why do we need three guys standing at a camera trying to make a decision the computer has already made?
The computer doesn't make the close call for. So basically, what you're saying,
the video is
basically what you're saying is you want robot umps at every base.
No, you can play.
That's what you're saying.
If the call is out, it's out. If the call's safe, he's safe. But if the
That's what they did in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Right. But now we have computers, we have cameras. If the camera is clear as day, it shows it. Every fucking person, all the 60,000 people in the stands and the 2.2 million people watching on TV, clear as day, sees him beat the run to first. End of discussion. You don't need four fucking guys standing at a camera trying to look at it again and taking 10 to 15.
It's the angle at what the angle of what you see it. Yeah. One camera could have him safe. One camera can have him out because what you need is the ball going into the mid when the runner steps on first. Yeah. Depending on your angle, you can see it two different ways. Yeah. What they used to do was listen for the sound and watch the foot.
Right.
Okay, if the foot beat, but see, we didn't have technology back then. So what you're saying is you want technology to speed the game up. Technology's slowing the game down.
It wouldn't slow the game down. We just play with what
it is.
No, it's not. You're crazy. You're smoking. I don't know what you're smoking, but
I saw Vita Blue pitch against Tommy Box in San Francisco. Score was 2-0. Hour and 58 minutes.
Right.
Okay. Right. But you're missing the whole concept of why the game is slowing down. You're so far off base on this. You're not looking at the big picture. You know why the game slowed down?
Why? TV commercials.
Because every inning now, you got to have a 3-minute gap between every inning, so the TV stations can advertise and make their money to broadcast it.
Right. Yeah.
Back in those days, you didn't have that because
just boom,
you
boom,
didn't have games every night and you didn't have big TV contracts. You listened to the game on the radio.
Yeah. I mean, again, the game has evolved. That's evolving. It's evolved into making money. I mean, that's why.
Yeah. When Bob Gibson, Koufax, all those guys pitched, you had the greatest era of hitters coming up. And these guys still pitch complete games. You had Willie Mays, 660 home runs. You had Hank Aaron, 755 home runs. Okay. You had Pete Rose, 4,244.
That's because you had guys pitching longer than they should have been. To be honest, if you look at it, that's what you're saying. You're saying there are guys
these guys lasted 20 years in the league, and they're in the Hall of Fame.
The game has evolved, Bob. They wouldn't have changed it. I mean, as an owner, would you rather have the guy go 9 innings? Or would you rather have him go 7? Would you rather have him go 9 innings and last half a season, or would you rather have him go 6 innings and get you through the season? That's what owners, that's what the league has seen.
Let me ask you a question. Nolan Ryan pitched 25 years. Never on the injured list. Never had rotator cuff problems.
Yeah, he's one guy.
Nolan
Bob.
Ryan went 9 innings.
He was one guy, Bob. He's one guy.
Bob Gibson.
Whole different era. You're getting mad at me for what?
I'm not mad at you.
But
I'm just saying that.
But the game has changed, Bob. That's what I'm saying. Teams are playing for the World Series a little different than they are playing for the World Series back then. Now they realize we can't have a guy go more than 6 innings. They realize we need middle relief. They realize we need a good closer now. They realize we need better guys that are going to come in and pinch hit. The whole game has changed from the 50s and 60s. It's a whole different game, Bob. And it's about this. It comes down to this.
You hit the ball.
Right.
You play 9 innings. You got 3
outs.
You're done.
The quality of the guy throwing the ball, the quality of the guy hitting the ball
has not changed. The approach to the game has changed.
approach to the game has changed. It has to.
The game has not changed.
It evolved. The game has evolved to where
if the game has evolved, okay, if the game has evolved and the game is so great, okay, how come nobody can win 20 games a year now for 20 straight years or 15 straight years like they used to? How's the game evolve? Now, granted, athletes are bigger, faster, stronger. I get that because they have better workout habits and stuff. Yeah. But how come nobody in the league right now is going to touch Hank Aaron's 755?
I don't know.
Without steroids.
Okay. I don't know.
How come no? And where is somebody going to get 511 wins like Cy Young has? You're not going to find that anymore.
Yeah, no.
Now you're barely going to get 210 wins in a career, which is not even the old Hall of Fame mark. The old Hall of Fame mark used to be 300 wins, but you can't get longevity out of these guys anymore, even though they're pitching 6 innings.
I'm gonna look something up here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see, average.
And to say that people didn't care about going to the World Series in the 50s, 60s, and 70s is asinine.
I didn't say they didn't care.
No, you said more people now are concerned about going to the World Series than they used to be. The teams. Trust me, every year, everybody who showed up in the spring training in the 60s and 70s wanted to go to the World Series. The desire to go to the World Series has never changed. Ever. What are you going to fact check now?
I'm checking something here.
This is healthy debate, John. Healthy debate.
I was trying to find out the statistics of the length of a ball player in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, no, here.
Yeah, there you go.
Do this, all right? Do this. Take all the Hall of Fame pitchers and how many total wins.
No, you can't do that. You're talking about greatness. Not everybody is at that fucking level playing baseball, Bob. You can't just go right into the Hall of Fame and use them as a staple for fucking the game. You can't.
Why
you
not?
can't because the average player doesn't even play to that level. The average player doesn't even get to that level. That's why there's a Hall of Fame, Bob.
Yeah, the average player today doesn't get to that level.
Exactly. That's my point. They don't get to that level. You can't compare. You can't pull guys out of the Hall of Fame to add to your argument when those guys are there for a specific reason. They're the fucking best. And you think about that one person compared to how many fucking guys are in the league. You can't pull a Hall of Famer to argue my point because that's not fair. That's not fair. None of these guys are even at that level. How many great fucking Babe Ruth? How long did it take before anyone got close to Babe's number?
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron's number. How long did it take? Years. We're talking like 20, 30 fucking years, maybe even longer.
It did.
You can't pull Hall of Famers out of the fucking hall and use them for your argument because it's not fair.
But you're the one. Hold on here. But just to be fair, okay, you're the one who said the players are better today than they were in the past.
And when I said that, I meant health-wise, Bob. They're exercising more. They're eating right. They got trainers. They got all that. So obviously, that guy is going to be on game day. He is going to be 110% more ready to play than a guy in the 50s and 60s that was at his job at the fucking mill or was at GM plant working at the engine plant and then going and playing a game for fucking 2.5 hours.
Number one, they didn't work in the mill or on the GM plant. Okay, they got paid enough money in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They didn't have to do that. Okay, evolve, John, evolve.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if the pitchers have a better diet, better exercise regime, and they're more fit and more healthy, why can't they go 9 innings like the greats?
Well, because things have changed. It's just like I'm saying. Now you have pitchers that only go 6 innings. You got a middle reliever. You got someone that's coming in and closing. The guy that that may got his hits late in the innings because the pitcher was still in there. So maybe he ended up getting 2 more hits than he normally would because, now he's facing a guy that's already thrown 180 pitches, where today that guy is not, his likelihood of getting a hit in the later innings are going to become less and less because now he's facing a quality fucking mid reliever who's coming in fresh arm, who didn't pitch for the last 3 or 4 days. Then to top it off in the 8th and 9th inning, 95% of the time, they're facing a closer who's throwing 120 miles an hour.
You're not throwing the fastest pitch.
Yeah, I know. 100.
And I get your point.
Yeah.
But Clayton Kershaw could have at least 30 more wins.
Yeah.
If they didn't bring in a relief pitcher, because he lost 30 wins. Because relief came
I'm going to send you this article. It's called Changing Size of MLB Players from 1870 to 2010. And you can go ahead and
that's fine. Okay, all right, so they're in better shape. They're all this stuff. Okay. But you can't tell me, okay? You're never going to convince a baseball purist like myself that today's players are better because they don't do as much as the older players used to do. And the older players did it right in buses and with no sports medicine, no workout regime. I mean, you just got to go with the flow of the game.
Major League Baseball career length in the 20th century.
Just because you're the guy who goes to the stadium with his cell phone and would rather like Google.
No, I'm watching a game. I'm always
for the purity of the game.
I'm always watching a game. My phone never comes out. You can ask anybody.
Okay.
I will take like 3 pitchers before the game starts, and that's usually in the dugout. Maybe the first at bat, and then my phone goes away.
Okay. So
here you go. I mean, for instance, this has changed because look, you got Nolan Ryan, 27 years, Cap Anderson, 27 years, McGreer from 1884. These are old players, 26 years.
Yeah, don't get those guys. Get like Nolan Ryan.
Tommy John, 1960. Yeah, in 26 years, but you don't see that because number one, guys make more money. They don't have to stay in the league and play for 20, 25 years. If they play their cards right, they could play for 8, 10 years and get the fuck out. And a majority of those guys do that. They play maybe 10 years.
Deal, okay, so they're playing the game for the love of the game. They're playing for the love of the money.
They play for the money, man.
That's why you don't have really great teams anymore because nobody wants to stay long enough.
Wow, look at this one.
They want to earn cash.
You ready for this? The average player in the 1950s made $13,328.
Right. But minimum wage was probably like 25 cents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it says in 1950, the average annual salary in America, an American worker was $2,876. So the average baseball player earned 13. So that's,
So they're still making 5 times more than the average person.
Yeah.
Okay, so they really don't have to work in the off season. Okay, But here's the point, because I got to go. All right.
Yeah, we got to get
We
this
both
show
love
off.
the game.
Yeah.
You see more problems with the game than I do, because
Yeah.
I'm a purist and I love the game for the game. But if you want to get the people more interested in the game, stop screwing around with technology, lower the ticket prices so parents can take their kids to 10 games a year.
That needs
so
to
the kids
happen.
can have a love of the game.
That needs to happen. That needs to happen. I don't think, like we talked about, I don't think a ticket to a baseball game should be $100 and something. I honestly don't think it should be. I think you should take into consideration whatever that you have to assume. Well, let's put it this way. Wherever a stadium is, that's your fan base. To be honest with you, it's that stadium is there. You're representing that community that stadium is in. Your prices should reflect that community. So if if your community is making an average of $45,000-$50,000 a year, your ticket prices should be within that range for a family of 5 to be able to come to the fucking game, man.
Okay, John, that argument is spot on.
Yeah.
That's why we're never going to get to go see the Giants, because all the tech people live in the area. They make millions upon millions of dollars.
Millions
so
and millions
we're never
of
going to be
dollars.
able to afford it, because that's
no,
the
but
base
if you
they're
take
playing
that,
to.
you take where's that stadium it is, which is on 3rd fucking Avenue, Bob. It's on 3rd Avenue. So I'm going to hold on to my point, because 3rd Avenue, it's one street over, and yeah, things change. It's one street over. If you go to the left of 3rd, from when you come out of Candlestick or whatever, not Candlestick, whatever they're calling that park, if you go left down 3rd Avenue, it's a whole different world. If you go right,
I've been there.
But,
but
technically,
I have traveled all of 3rd Avenue from 101 to 80.
Yeah, but technically, the stadium is on the bad side of 3rd Avenue. You have to go across the street to get into the business district, but it's right at the borderline. So if you go
that's just like old Candlestick.
Yeah.
You got off 101, went to the stadium, you got back on 101 and went home, because you did not want to deviate your experiences in the neighborhood around Candlestick.
Yeah.
Okay?
No.
Because being a white man, I knew that nighttime was no time for me to be in that neighborhood.
No, it's not.
My bad.
All right, Bob, we are out of here.
Right.
We'll see everybody next week. Andre, no, it's 2 weeks. Andre's on vacation for 2 weeks, but he may try to jump in. We'll see. All right, Bob, we'll see you. I'll talk to you later. We'll see everybody next week.
All right.